YouTube YouTube algorithm. Let's go. So I've been watching the new Family Guy season. It feels kind of different. Like you see more of the background, and the cutaways aren't really that risky. You know what I mean? It just feels. It feels. I mean, I'm happy to have a new season. It just feels kind of odd. You know what I mean? So this is a sad one. So the voice actor and creator of the show, Seth MacFarlane, voices Brian and a few other characters. But I watched that movie of him, a cowboy movie, and then he just talked. I was just like, oh my gosh, that's Brian. Like, oh, I thought he was using a voice, but that's just his actual voice, right? And so there's many people who talked about this, like, oh, Brian is Seth MacFarlane. When Brian talks about suicide, in some way it's like Seth talking about his own feelings for suicide. And we're gonna jump into that right now. Let's go.
Shut up! Ooh, harsh tone. You just got bumped down to coconut mint.
You know what I found interesting was like, oh, you saw how Stewie's ear was bleeding on the side, right? Oh, because they shot a bullet in the bag, it bounced off. But the point is, like, you know, most people when they talk, even though we have two ears and one mouth, we do a lot of talking, right? We don't do a lot of listening. But when Stewie basically, I'm not saying he got death in one ear, but it's like he lost one ear, so he has one ear and one mouth. I felt that Stewie really listened to Brian in this episode.
Hey, Bri.
In that shot, it looks like they're just trying to set up that they're gonna put all the attention on Brian, with how he was in the foreground, right? And Stewie in the background over here. And then they slowly merge it in. So Stewie.
Yeah?
How come you have a gun?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? What about all that liberal crap you're always spewing about stricter gun regulations? You even cried after Columbine.
Because that was a national tragedy.
Oh, it's kind of a regional tragedy.
Again, there's still a cartoon and they're just still trying to be comedic, but it's like slowly building it up. And you can see how Brian's a little defensive about the whole situation because he can't really tell his friend, like, by the way, oh, I keep it just in case, you know what I mean? So they're slowly building up, like Stewie's slowly trying to break down his wall.
Whatever.
It's just weird, you know? I mean, you're the last person anybody would expect to have a gun.
Well, that's why I keep it here, where it's safe.
That doesn't make any sense. Why have it if you're not going to use it? Is it like a sexual thing?
No.
Oh, that's a relief. I hate the idea of you getting your thrills pressing a gun up against your crotch. Ugh, just picturing it gives me the willies.
You know, I really don't want to talk about this with you, Stewie.
Okay, I respect that.
Thank you.
Again, they're building it up, but just to keep in mind, like, you don't know what someone's really going to, so they might be having trouble at home, you know, at work, in their own life, in their own mind. So just always trying to, you know, be nice to people, because you never know what's going on with them.
Are you sure it's not a sexual thing?
I'm sure.
Oh, good, because that'd be strange if you had fantasies about pressing a gun up against your crotch and feeling your heartbeat through your balls. Please tell me why you have it.
I said I don't want to talk about it.
But I want to know. Just tell me, come on.
No.
Come on, please.
I keep it in case I ever want to commit suicide, okay?
Wow.
Brian's emotions bottle up inside him, right? And so all these feelings bottle up inside you. It's gonna go. These negative things will eat you up on the inside, and you don't want that negativity inside you. So if you have problems, find a close friend. In that case, he has Stewie, but if you have problems, you should, you know, tell a really close friend, so tell someone you trust, tell a psychologist, you know, just schedule one. Anything like that, because it's a really big thing. And when Brian takes that deep breath in, it shouldn't be a huge thing. I mean, I know it's a serious thing, but you should be really open to tell anybody about.
Oh my God, you're serious? But why, Brian?
You wouldn't understand. You're just a kid.
Well, I could try.
I don't know. Sometimes it's all too much.
What is?
Life, everything. Just having the gun here, knowing there's a way out, it helps.
Life is hard for many people, right? Some people have it good, some people have it really, really bad, but just because things aren't turning out great, it will always work out in the end. And you know, it sounds cheesy, but if it's not working out, this is not the end. And Bun, you know, he's a fictional character, but like many of us, we can always change our situation, right? We can, you know, work on ourselves, go study, and then find knowledge, different ideas, and how to improve our situation. It's easy to end things, right? But the best things are always at the very end, right? So you have to just keep pushing. Even though it's bad now, it will go up.
Yes, but a gun, it's so messy. What about pills? Even hanging yourself is better. At least then you might grow an inch or two while you're hanging there. Of course, when they find you, you might have those Ileana Douglas eyes.
Again, Stewie's trying to keep it light for the show, but they really tried to drive the point of what Brian's trying to say.
So, why the gun?
It just seemed the quickest way, I guess.
I suppose. But I don't quite understand why you're so unhappy.
Yesterday, when you said, I don't live with purpose, you were right. I don't. What purpose does my life have?
I don't like when you talk like this.
Oh, it's true, Stewie. Dogs are supposed to be able to instinctively live with purpose, not even to have to think about it, just born like that. But I wasn't. You know, I've tried to find meaning in my life, and I just can't.
Purpose is a big thing lately. Like, you hear men saying, ignore women, you know, chase your purpose, or like, you have to have like a really big goal in your life, right? You have to be a millionaire, you have to have 10 cars. But what you should be doing instead, as we talked with the other videos, it's like slowly building it up, right? Like, you want to be successful, you have to just do things consistently all the time, and then that consistently will slowly add up. It won't happen right away, right? It will happen slowly and in time, and you just have to finish the race again. And the purpose part of life is like enjoying that process, because the process itself is long, right? It's hard and tiring, and you should enjoy, you know, eventually reaching that goal, because life is a journey, right? And that's the purpose, right? It's walking to that goal.
And that bottle of scotch?
I was saving it for my last drink.
Whoa, heavy.
And, you know, I'm not talking about purpose in the shallow, Rick Warren, over-the-counter self-help variety, because that's just delusion. That's not real. I mean, is there ever a time when we're truly in the present moment and not looking toward the past or the future? I mean, right there, in the moment.
I get that way when I watch Handy Manny. So, is that why we came here? Were you gonna end it?
No, I was just putting money in my Christmas club.
God, I have to get one of those. You know, last year, I only had $30 saved when the holidays came around. I was so embarrassed. I think I gave Meg tape.
Oh, you're the only person I've ever told this to. Aren't you going to say anything?
Humans are social creatures, right? It's the connections we make that really define us. Like, you become essentially the people you hang out with the most, right? So if all your friends are athletes, eventually you will become an athlete, because, you know, they're all working out. You hang out with them, you're gonna be working out too, right? But when you're isolated, you just push people away, right? You're all alone, and that aloneness just keeps you in your negative self-doubts in your head, right? You can't really think about anything else. So that's why you have to go find kind people who care about you, that you can tell this about how you're feeling. And hopefully those people you do become friends with will want the best for you and try to find ways to help you out, or like try to make things easier on you.
I don't know what to say. Wanting to kill yourself. Well, I think that's pretty selfish of you.
How is that selfish?
What would I do if you weren't here? You're the only one who makes my life bearable.
I thought you said I was the best of a bad situation.
I was just trying to hurt you because you hurt me.
I might argue that Stewie is the one being selfish for wanting Brian to be alive for him. But, you know, the things you do, you know, the people you talk to, right? You are creating, you are placing yourself in their lives, right? You are now significant to them, right? And though we don't really talk about it, right? We don't really say you're important to me, but you should keep that in your head that you are important and that you are a big contributor to the people around you, right? And you do affect people. And that should be more than enough.
But the truth is, you're my only friend, Brian. If I didn't have you, I'd be lost.
You'd be okay.
No, I wouldn't. I don't really care for anybody else, just you. You're the only one I like.
Well, thanks.
I like you a lot. I guess you could say I really like you. I would even dare to go a little further, perhaps. I care a great deal about you. A very great deal. Maybe even deeper than that. I love you.
There is nothing wrong telling someone how you feel about them if your intentions are good. And you know what? If you love your friend, your partner, your family, you should be able to say it proudly and openly. There's nothing wrong saying you love them.
I mean, not in like a, hey, let's have an underpants party or whatever grown-ups do when they're in love. But I mean, I love you as one loves another person whom one simply cannot do without.
Well, I love you too, Stewie.
You give my life purpose. And maybe that's enough. Because that's just about the greatest gift one friend can give another.
Thank you.
Instagram and in TV, we highlight, the rich and the famous. And, it's great to see that, but not being rich or famous is the end all be all, right? Like, you can be very happy with what you have right now. You just have to choose to be happy. And that's okay.
Hey,
What?
will you read to me?
Sure.
Wait, I want to get all snuggled in. Okay, go.
Chapter 1. I am born. Whether I shall turn out to be the hero of my own life, or whether that station shall be held by anybody else, these pages must show. To begin my life with the beginning of my life, I record that I was born on a Friday at 12 o'clock at night.
Again, you are an important person, right? You are important to the people around you. Your life does have value to it. And I love you. And I hope, through the screen, that means something to you. Have a good day.